Live from Town Square Towers at the heart of the Jersey Shore. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Get up, get out, do something. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin, 7:07, Tuesday, June 14th. 61 degrees, get up at 76 today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. News Talk Radio, streaming live on the Radio Pop app and WOBMM.com. 732-505-1160. We are now joined by Eastover Elementary School Principal Matthew Gray. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Jeremy.
This must be, is this like the best time of the year?
This is a really great time of the year.
Yeah.
Lots of things going on, as we talked before, half days.
Yeah.
But we have a tremendous amount of activities going on. We've just had Student Appreciation Day. Today we actually have our 5th grade Stepping Up ceremony. So a lot of excitement in the schools at this time of year.
So tell me a little bit about Eastover, because I mean we always give the principals an opportunity to kind of sell their school. Like, so what is it about Eastover? What is it that makes Eastover special?
We are a very proud community over on the east side of town. We are approximately 685 students, fairly large elementary school in Toms River, and we have a tremendously dedicated staff. Our teachers are truly amazing. And I think one of the things that sets us apart is we have a really strong community, like I said, where our PTO is involved in many of the activities that we do on a daily basis. And partnering with that parent organization and our staff, we really get to provide tremendous services to our kids.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, of course, I'm getting like text message updates. So we have our moles out in the field, who are always sending information, right? Whether it's letters to the parent teacher organizations, whether it's projects in the school, etc. So I have a pretty cool picture here that I'll ask you about in a little bit. But before we do that, tell me a little bit how you. Now you're like, oh my God, I wonder what this is.
Oh no.
How did you end up where you are? So have you always been? How long have you been in Eastover?
Sure, I've been in Eastover for 2 years. It's my second full year here.
Okay.
I started teaching in Howell Township Elementary Schools. I was a 3rd and a 5th grade teacher.
Okay.
For a little over 7 years. I then became a vice principal in Howell at the Adelphia School. From Howell, I then moved to Lakewood Public Schools. I was a principal for 4 years at the Clifton Avenue Grade School. Had a tremendous time there, great staff, great community. And then in 2014, I made the move over to Toms River and have been at Eastover for 2 years.
Cool. So how did you get first involved in education? I mean, was that something that you'd always wanted to do, or were you destined that way, or what happened?
I think I was. My mom was a teacher, so growing up, seeing the joys that she, the conversations that she brought home, and the camaraderie of a faculty and a staff, that was something that I really wanted. It was a big teamwork thing. So as an athlete, as a young jock, if you would, I always thought that being part of a team as a professional would be great. And I found my way into elementary school, so I had a really great time teaching with 8 and 9-year-olds. Had a wonderful time engaging them, and then I thought I could take it to the next level and work with adults.
Right.
So that's where I'm at.
Cool. So, listen, this is a dumb question, but so as a young jock, what sport did you play?
I just played football.
Yeah, that's a shock, right? Because I know that, if you're listening on the radio, you can't tell, but Matt is not a small man, right? No. Matt would probably scare you would have beaten me up in school. That's what would have basically happened.
And that was the thing. Everybody questioned why elementary, and I just felt that was the area where I can make the most impact.
Right.
And size or not, It's,
you know what's cool, though? I will say, it seems to me that I hear more often from teachers/administrators who were inspired by their parents who were also teachers/administrators. It seems to me that in most other vocations, parents are often kind of dissuading their kids from going down that road. I know my parents were both attorneys, and they always said, no, you don't want to do this. Right, yeah. This is not the way to go. But it seems like in teaching, it seems like there is there is some a degree of satisfaction that says, hey, listen, it's a noble profession, it's the right thing to do, and you can get you could derive personal satisfaction as well.
Exactly, and when you can help kids on a daily basis in any position, either from the any member of our staff, it really can help a child succeed, and that's what I think that's special about the education field. As long as you're in that building, you can really make a difference.
Right. And so we bring this out every time because I think there is a perception that because we live in the world of Park and Common Core, that there's no ability to be outside of the box and to do some individual activities and do something different. And then I see this picture here of a pretty cool fence. Okay. That's with these with like it's picture a white picket fence, except picture it. Each picket is designed, I assume, by a different child. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that project?
Sure. That's an activity that started from our supervisor instruction, Miss Joanne Nocera. She came up with the idea to create a friendship fence. Okay. We partnered with Carl's Fencing, local fencing company. Carl's donated all of the materials and the labor to take out our old fence, put up a new fence. But what we did was we created a family night. We partnered with our PTO, and we created a family night where we had parents, friends, families come in. Everyone purchased a picket. It was a fundraising opportunity. They purchased a picket. We provided the paint, the space, the atmosphere, if you would. There was no rules. It was just create something really, truly amazing. We have 100 pickets. We had over 75 pickets painted that evening.
Cool.
And we were able to brighten up the front entrance of Eastover. If you've seen the picture,
yeah, it's awesome.
It was a chain link fence. It was really just a basic security fence, and now we've been able to put up those beautiful dog-eared,
Yeah. Now, Matt, you mentioned the PTO. Now, listen, it's just us girls talking, right?
Sure.
Just you and me. Last week, we were told that the PTO at Cedar Grove was, by far the superior PTO in the district.
Okay.
Would you like to refute that in any way?
I would say that they probably are proud of the fundraising opportunities and the activities that they do. But I do know many of the faculty, administration, and PTO members over there.
Yeah.
So don't want to discount anything they
Sure.
do. But
right.
Our Eastover PTO is extremely strong.
Right.
Over the last 2 years, we've organized new and exciting activities for our kids, fundraising opportunities, and our president, Ms. Joy Lewis, is at school daily.
Really?
She is part of our staff. She actually asked me if she was going to get a raise this week.
Really?
Due to the fact that she is involved in many things. Just one of the things that they put on last week was a Student Appreciation Day. A teacher came up to us last year and said, hey, let's do a Student Appreciation Day instead of a Teacher Appreciation Week. We already do that. So we always acknowledge our teachers, and she wanted to acknowledge the students. So within a matter of 24 hours, Miss Lewis had names, numbers, and information for a blow-up vendor, a bounce house vendor.
Right.
We brought within 2 days. We brought in the bounce houses, and we had schedules, and we had all of our kids going through there. Had a great day. Had snacks and prizes. And now this year we fast forwarded, and we had now 5 sets of bounce houses, and we had over 11 other activities with about 65 parent volunteers. So without the support of the PTO, that would have never gotten done. And we really are lucky to have such a supportive team over there.
Right. Well, I am feeling. Listen, I don't want to cause trouble because, God knows here in the media, far be it for me to want to stoke the flames of competition or controversy in any way.
I'm not competitive at all.
Right. We don't want to. Obviously, as a former jock, you're not competitive. So in no way would I suggest some kind of a PTO steel cage match or something like that. So I'm just going to move right along. When we come back, Matt, I would love to I'd love to talk to you about some of the other programs that are happening at Eastover, what you're most proud of, and what we can expect really kind of heading into next year at Eastover. Is that okay?
Great.
Cool. Matt Gray, principal, Eastover Elementary School. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin back after this.
Rush Limbaugh today at noon. More Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin coming up next. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 and WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin here with Matt Gray. He is the principal at Eastover Elementary. So why don't you tell us what we could look forward to theoretically if I was doing my Billy Madison thing and I was like, I'm going to go back to 1st through 6th grade at East Dover next year, what would I see there?
Sure. So one really amazing change that we've been working on is something called the Seeds of Inspiration Project. It's a 2-part project where we are creating an outdoor learning center and a new indoor library / makerspace. I know you've heard of the makerspace trend. But our big funding source is the Jay and Linda Gruden Foundation, and that's where our outdoor learning center is coming from. And with the financial support, we've been able to create an amazing learning area. It's in concept now. Materials have been purchased and the area is being prepped for creation. But what we want to do is we want to have our students think and problem solve like scientists, and not just train them with vocabulary and technology and terminology. But we want them to use the information that we give them to utilize the next generation science standards and the next generation engineering and design standards and explain how to solve problems. That's where I think we are moving in science and technology education. But within the outdoor learning area, we're partnering with a few other folks to get this job done. Obviously, the district is going to be helping us put together some of the major capital projects outside. But we're partnering with an Eagle Scout who's going to be designing raised bed, designing and building raised beds that are fenced in to help support growing outside. We're also partnering with the local Boy Scout pack, who has actually started the project of cleaning the area. They've started with our playgrounds, and they're going to be starting with our garden area. And then we're partnering with our Girl Scouts, the troop that's in our school, where they're going to be working and creating composting area, where they're going to create a compost box, and they're going to utilize scraps from our lunchroom and have a full self-sufficient compost area. Within this Seeds of Inspiration, we want our students to use, like I said, these next generation science standards. But for example, we're going to have our students work with our paw buddies. I haven't made mention of that, but that's called something we started this year from our safety team called Partners at Work. We partner our 5th graders with our 2nd graders, our 4th graders with our 1st graders, and our 3rd graders with our kindergartners. And they basically have a buddy, a big buddy or a little buddy, where they do different activities at school and really engage each other to work and create a stronger culture within the building. But for example, our 2nd graders are going to conduct investigations to identify if plants need sunlight or water to grow. In their class or in the Seeds of Inspiration Outdoor Learning Center, they're going to be creating these things, and then they're going to share their data and their information and their research with their 5th grade buddies. The 5th grade buddies are then going to use the data and come up with some type of solution and use that engineering and design process to create something. So how do we get a plant if you had no light? Or no water? How are we going to create something to help this plant grow? So that seems to be the real, I'll say, exciting piece where we're going to have our younger kids do a lot of the activities, and the older kids are going to come up with that creative piece and how to solve a problem. Within that Seeds of Inspiration area, we're also going to create or renovate our library. We've been renovating our library for the last 2 years. We've been fundraising for the last 2 years. We've raised over $12,000 through 2 readathons for the last 2 years. So that right now, we've been partnering with High School North students. Our librarian, Helen Kerner, has done an amazing job, and she's worked with the district and our supervisor to create new blueprints for the space. So we still will have a traditional library, but we will have a makerspace area where our students will be able to create and design these Seeds of Inspiration activities. So really, that's really exciting, I think, for educators and for parents at East Dover that we are moving in that direction. And just excited to see all the great things that our kids can accomplish over the next couple years.
My goodness. And so I counted the word partner 26 and a half times in that. And that's great because, listen, that's what it's all about, right? Really kind of working with the community, working with other organizations, and making it a more robust offering for the kids at East Dover Elementary School. When we come back with Matt Gray, we're going to talk about, we're going to give him his magic wand. And, that's the big one. Hang out. Be back after this.
Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Live from the Jersey Shore to the world. Get up, get out, do something. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Take the show wherever you go. Download the free Radio Pup app for your smartphone or tablet. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. 7:34 a.m. Tuesday, June 14, 61 degrees. Getting up to 76 today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. News Talk Radio streaming live on the Radio Pop app and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160. Join the conversation. We are joined now by Eastover Elementary Principal Matthew Gray. Dude, that was a whole different one. I got them all in. All right. And we were going to talk we didn't hit on Career Day, right? So come on, drop some knowledge on me here.
So we brought back Career Day after a 2-year hiatus, and one of my teachers actually came to me, Miss Kelly Medensky, and said, "Hey Matt, we need to bring this back. This was something that was really great. Our kids really loved it, and our community members loved coming in. Our parents loved coming in. So I think we had a tremendously successful Career Day. We had senators, we had Tom's River Mayor, we had police, medical people from the medical field, lawyers, judges, electricians. We had a boxer, we had a professional basketball player, singer, songwriter, musicians. We had an actress, and just tremendous, all different types of careers that came in and were able to speak to our students. We had a full day planned. Students went through 30-minute rotating periods where they were able to speak with all of these folks from the community, and it really was a tremendous success. So I'm just happy that that's back at Eastover. Just another really great thing that is happening over at our school.
Cool. So wow. So there's a lot going on, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, geez. All right, so
there's a lot going on in every elementary school.
But listen, tell me the truth. So Zach and I were talking about it, right?
Sure.
All right, so tell the truth. Is there silent ball still happening?
I will say there may be a game of silent ball.
There is a game of silent ball.
There may be.
And do people still play 7-Up?
I will say I was just in the hallway. There was an activity going on. A teacher was actually working on end-of-the-year data collection and needed a quiet minute, and there was a game of 7-Up going on.
I like that.
And he knows who he is.
I like that somebody needed end-of-the-year data. They were doing end-of-the-year data collection.
Yeah.
That's nice. All right. Matt, we are handing you the magic wand. It's your opportunity to make a difference, make something happen. We give you the pixie dust, the fairy dust, whatever you want to call it. You sprinkle it somewhere and make a difference. So what is it you're going to do with it?
Sure. I think ultimately, as a building leader, we always want more time and more funding with our students, our faculty. But if I had that opportunity, I want to preserve the innocence of our kids. I want to make being a kid a longer experience. I think technology and opportunities are coming at our children earlier and earlier. Myself, I have a 5-year-old who can navigate an iPad quicker than I can. So I think, honestly, if we had an opportunity, no matter at what age they are, but just provide that extra time for kids to be kids and play and have fun and do all those things, like you said, silent ball and 7-Up, even if that's home or at summer camp. But remind kids that they should appreciate this time and really have fun during this time of their life, specifically in the elementary schools.
Yeah, and we don't give them that anymore, right? Because now you start playing competitive sports at 7 years old, and it's serious.
Yeah, every kid is on 2 or 3 travel teams, and I know my daughter probably will be there someday. But I think having well-rounded kids and giving them that opportunity to play and learn and win and lose is something that is a really big part of who I am. And I just feel that that's super important.
Very cool. All right. So Matt, anything else you wanted to kind of wrap up with? This is your last chance. We have about a minute and a half to go. How would you like to close out the segment?
Sure. I just want to thank all of the staff and faculty, main office staff, custodial staff, and parents at Eastover. Over the last 2 years, we've had a tremendous run. And as our parents know, we really, truly have the best crew of teachers we think in Toms River. So thanks to all of them if they are listening, and I hope everyone has a wonderful summer.
Right. And, I'll close it out with this. Despite all of the threats, there were a lot of big talkers.
Yeah.
Right. There were a lot of big talkers.
Text messages.
And they know who they are, that they're going to call in, that they're going to bust some stones, that they're going to, they're going to make this difficult. Didn't happen, did it?
No.
So we know when it was really time to, put up or shut up time, we know how that all ended up, right?
Exactly, yes.
All right, man. As long as I just want to make sure you and I are on the same page on that one.
Thank you.
Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin and Matthew Gray, Eastover Elementary School principal. You guys are doing a great job over there, and keep up the good work. And most importantly, enjoy the final countdown. Enjoy a fantastic summer. I know as a principal, you get about 3.5 days off, and then you get ready for next year, right?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Good talking to you.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. Back with the Blue Claws after this.